to the church setting, the Spanish ministry. To do that, we're going to hit scenes. Okay. I'm going to save the service. I'm going to save the service first, but you're going to press scene. Yes. Yes. So here we go. Right now we were there. This is where we were. Hey, Jim.
Default.
You started early.
Just a tad. Nothing serious.
Okay.
So we just started to show you the board, what the board looks like. Our power button is located to the right of the power cable on this left side.
Okay.
You push it in to turn it on, and it takes like 5 seconds tops to load up and rock. So the first thing you want to do is to go to a show setting, a saved show setting, so that you know exactly, so that you're in your personal show. So there's a scenes button here. Press the scenes button, and that takes you to our scenes. Here on the left, you'll see a list of all the shows that are on that we have saved. So far, I've only saved one. So to save, I'll show you guys how to save a show. That way you guys are ready to go.
I have a question. That default setting, that everything is available to us. You've loaded everything in the backside. So if we turned up the wireless mic, it's going to be in there.
Yes.
So it's a functional scene.
So yes, it is a functional scene.
Okay.
The functions, the most basic of functions that I have on the default setting is the wireless mic plugged in and the computer plugged in, left and right. Those are just the basics. The other all this other input
Is unassigned.
is assigned but not.
Are you guys here for this?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to have to start over.
I will start over. It's assigned, but it's not. They're not EQ'd. They're not adjusted. You'd have to do all that when you get to that point. Hi guys.
Hi, Angel.
All right, so let's do some training. New board. Fun. New board.
Oh,
So-
it's small.
So it's a
very
lot
small.
smaller than before. Yes, definitely a lot smaller than the other board. A little more. Because it's smaller. They're a little more. It's more compact. There are more layers that you have to go through. So we're gonna walk through those layers and show you how that works. So first things first, I'm going to turn off the board and then show you how to turn it on from there. So I'm going to turn this off. Sorry, the amps are on. You all know that you got to turn on the system first and then turn the amps on.
That system over there?
In order to get that working. Because for this demonstration, I have them on already. Okay, so the power button is on the left-hand side.
Okay.
You're going to reach behind here to the right of the power button, and you're going to press that down. Press it in. Load up screen and your startup page. So it all comes up with a matter of seconds. The first thing that pops up is the last scene that was open. So for example, if the Spanish ministry is here when the Spanish ministry is here on Sunday and they turn off the board, by Wednesday, when you turn the board back on, it will stay in the Spanish ministry setting. So you're going to have to go to your very specific show setting so that you can load it up. So let's start there first. To go there, we're going to go to scenes. You press the scenes button here on the right-hand side of the display board. And now it opens up our scenes page. Here on the left-hand column, you'll see a list of all the scenes that have been saved. At this point, I've only saved one, which is our default setting. That default setting has the wireless microphone ready to go, has the audio cable for the PC ready to go for the computer, and then it has all these other channels plugged in to the system up there. Like you can plug something in and make it work right away, but it doesn't have EQs or any of those settings. That you're going to have to save on your own. And if you do, want to have extra channels and all that saved, you're going to need to save a new show, your own very own show. So to do that, we're gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna start with the Spanish ministries first. So I'm gonna click on an open scene setting here. So number 2. I'm gonna label it Spanish. Oops, that's not it. Spanish. Just because I'm very particular to this kind of stuff. Spanish ministry. Okay, hit OK. Now I have just saved a brand new show for the Spanish ministry called Spanish Ministry. Now, if I wanted to go back to the default setting or whatever setting you have, you go to hit your show name and then click recall. There's a green button here, green recall button. I hit recall. It asks me if I want to go back to recall. Do you want to continue? Yes. And now we're back to our default setting. Okay, so what's in our default setting? So let's start with that. So in our default setting, we have this wireless microphone, channel 14. I have a label here that will always be the wireless microphone, always. So you don't have to worry about that changing. So you just take your wireless microphone, power's on already for the front there. I got new batteries for this. So we talk into it and you start to see a little bit of signal coming through. And so now 2 things you have to know. 1, this blue button has to be set to left right here. In other words, this button is showing you what is being mixed or what is being sent to that particular group. So if I were to press this, note that it's not lit up here. Now, whatever I put in like this is going to this mix. So all you got to know is that if this is not selected, you're not going to hear a lot of audio coming through. So, but also know that you can change monitors and all this stuff. If I click here, now I'm in a whole new page just for Mixer 2, right? Now I'm in a whole new page for Mixer 3, and you can do a bunch of different things.
Are those
And
monitor mixes?
These are
set up?
monitor mixes. They're already set up.
And they're 1-for-1 with the numbers up there?
Correct.
Pastor also bring his own wireless.
Okay.
Which one will that substitute
When-
or will use the same?
When that happens, you can you would have to plug in a new XLR cable to the back.
Okay.
Channel 13 is open. I don't have anything plugged
it.
in there.
All right.
And so then you can use
Beautiful.
that.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to go back to left, right. And now notice that I turn this fader up. Check. And now I have audio. All right. So the reason why this is working right now is because I've got this fader up and this fader up. If I turn this down, I've turned off all the audio that's going to those mixers, to the speakers up there. Main control.
Doesn't affect monitors or anything?
This doesn't affect monitors. Right. Note that if I did want to affect the monitors, for example, I would press mix 1 and then I would make a change. Theoretically, if I had a monitor on the floor over there, you would be hearing it right now. Okay. So I'm gonna just put that away. I'm gonna go back to this. Also, we're gonna play some music now. And the audio, if I push this up, then you should be hearing audio on all 4 speakers. And microphone. So this is our default setting. All these other inputs are also on the floor. Like if you wanted to plug in a keyboard, guitar, you can plug them into any one of the inputs there on the wall, right? But you don't have EQ or any of those other settings set.
Also 1-for-1.
It's also 1-for-1. All of that is 1-for-1.
But flat EQ is a decent sound.
Yes. Should be.
Flat
You
EQ
asked me
is
about that. To me, it would be.
flat EQ.
Well,
Yeah.
it should be set so that if they don't know how to EQ, it gets a decent 58 sound.
it's decent to the point where it's not. I don't have you. What the one thing you will notice is that it's got a little bit of low end and those kind of things. It's just general send out. So if you need something like that, let's talk about it. Let's walk it through, and I will walk it through with you guys to EQ, individual, whatever you want. The microphone, this wireless microphone is EQ'd for that to roll, so it rolls off all the low end. And if I didn't have that on, you would hear a lot of woofiness. Woo, 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 woo. So I've got that all taken care of for this wireless mic. Okay. So what I want to know from you guys is what, for the children's ministry setup, what do you guys normally work with or play with that you would need dialed in, EQ'd? How can we make that work for you guys the easiest?
For us, I know we always use a wireless mic.
Okay.
We like to have the ability to do visual up there and have it come through
Okay.
in case we do anything like that. We're going
Yep.
to get a little bit away from that this year, but it'd be nice to be able to project words on
Okay.
there and have them come through.
Okay.
The opportunity also for wireless, a headset or the lapel mic, something
Okay.
like that, which you already kind of explained. You've got
Yes.
an open area for that.
Yes.
And just to make sure that we can come in, and it sounds like we can set up our own scene where we just hit Awana
Yes.
and we're done. Can you guys think of any more that we would be using?
Just Playdate, but Playdate is pretty similar as far as needs as a lot.
Okay.
So I think we could use the same exact.
That's what I'm thinking. There's
So-
nothing else.
I kind of felt the same.
Store a scene, will it save volume? Will it save levels too?
Yeah. It'll save levels. It'll
Pretty much what
save.
you just had, if you save that for Awana.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we just keep hitting
Yep.
it and that's it, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think
That's
what I'll
great.
do is I'll even go one step further and save a setting for the microphone that you guys would bring in. So if you guys were to bring in a microphone to plug into 13, we should save that.
Have it ready to.
That way it's ready to go. I would love to have that microphone today. If you guys have that,
Well, it depends.
Do you have
We've
it?
got a couple lapel mics and we also have a headset.
do you have the receiver unit that
believe
do you guys
so.
bring all that stuff here when you do that?
We just honestly use the wireless mic or the handheld.
Oh.
We use a handheld. But we may try some different things this fall. We may have somebody doing some minute to win it and we
I
want
hear
it
you.
hands free.
Okay.
They have the receivers yet.
We do.
So if you have, for that situation, you would have to bring the whole kit with you.
Okay.
So you're bringing the receiver, you're bringing the microphone, and you're bringing the cable that would go there, and then we'll plug it in and do
This
that.
is a kind of a different thing. Is it possible to get a little cabinet or something back in here where you keep batteries and supplies that people can't access all the time?
We can. What kind of supplies do you need?
It's mostly batteries. I mean, the problem
Okay.
is you hate to come out here, find out your batteries are dead, have to
Okay.
go all the way back someplace. But there may be other things that people keep.
Okay, if we're talking about batteries, we have rechargeable batteries over at the front of house sound booth in the sanctuary that you guys are welcome to use. That's what I used to replace the batteries that were in
I just
here.
love to access them here.
You should just buy them their own.
You want to just
back
do?
here.
Okay.
Oh, a chargeable station?
Well,
That's what I
Yeah,
use with
we did
Awesome.
that and put it back here and it disappeared.
So John Zumker, who does your sound every other week, comes to the booth every week. Probably, I mean, it's very inexpensive to just get.
So we just want to do a recharging station
I think
solution
so.
here.
Like I
Okay.
said, we
That's
did
what I use with
that.
Ozzy,
We
too.
did that. Honestly,
Yeah.
we stuck them
Okay.
back there and they disappeared.
Okay.
I
Well,
bought a pack of batteries too.
Yeah. They do. They disappear real quick.
They're already gone.
But they're replacing them every time they use it,
That-
whether or not it
yeah,
needs it
yeah.
or not, just because of all the issues they've had in
And
the
that's
past.
insane. But
okay.
yeah.
So
Let's
yeah.
do the rechargeable battery
To be honest,
solution here.
We may want to just replace the wire. Anyways, we can talk.
Okay,
We have
we'll
that
talk about
Shure-
the solution.
We have that Shure system.
We do.
that Seems like this thing eats batteries.
Yeah.
This microphone, specifically this microphone.
Sure.
It's
eats
just for
batteries.
convenience.
I totally.
That's
I mean,
all.
I can believe that. So, all right. Well, we'll talk through those things on a case by case.
Lori, do
Yeah.
you have more than one lapel mic?
Yes.
'Cause each one of those could be different depending what mic they
Well,
fit.
we'll only
So-
use one. Yeah, we'll just.
Make sure it's the same one you bring each time.
We'll label it.
So we have to do the thing with
You can
Ozzy.
do one,
Yeah,
bring a
make
different one,
sure.
and go, what's
Yeah,
wireless? That-
yeah. So when we get to that point,
We
we'll
found like a
plug it in and then we'll have to
Maybe
EQ.
Thursday I bring it to you.
I don't know. If
I won't be here Thursday.
Oh, no, okay.
But let's
Well, I know
I'll still
you're gonna
dial
run
it in. We'll
I
see if we can get it
He's
done.
gonna be here.
Like that.
Oh no, he's leaving tomorrow because that camp retreat.
Okay, we'll work it out.
Let me know. Call me and I come.
Will
and
he
bring
be here
it.
Sunday?
I bring it. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I can squeeze some time from rehearsal.
Instead of then, I'm gonna let him know so I can have it.
Okay.
we have the pack, which is good, but we need that for
Yeah, you
And
would
would
need
it
this
be
unit.
anywhere? do you
So
think
I'll be
it'll up
preaching
near
Sunday,
their
so I'm gonna
computer
use.
that
I have my
we're
own
using that we're not using, it's just
wireless.
sitting there?
Okay.
So
I have
nice.
seen
You're gonna be
her
here
charge
when
them
this
all
week.
day.
I'll be here this week, today and tomorrow.
So,
Sitting there.
no, we're talking about.
I might come tomorrow.
Okay,
What
let's
time, more or less?
So let's
Anytime I'm
check
here.
there and see
Okay,
if
so I'm gonna bring mine.
Okay.
And probably his too.
Okay.
'Cause you need both.
Okay.
See
Sounds
if we
good.
can match any of them up.
Sounds good. Okay. So we'll work out those details. Excuse me. We'll work out those details with you guys. Okay. All right. So for you guys, I'll save another setting. So we're saving a show for Awana.
Adapter for your mind.
We're saving, and should I save another scene for children's ministry too, or is Awana tied into all of that?
I think you could just
I
do
mean, we
children.
have separate stuff, but I feel like we'll probably do the same
Yeah,
function,
the same
Awana,
functions.
that we'll
Okay.
do.
All right. So children's
Or
ministry in
need the
general.
cable.
And if
We'll
that
do that.
changes, we
Cable,
can let you know
XLR
if it's anything
cable.
more specific, because I'm sure you can just read.
Like
it.
that
Those are the
cable?
same general
Yeah.
things.
Those-
Okay.
we
Like
need
it's very,
for us
usually
to do
very basic.
our
Okay.
mic. That's for
Cool.
13.
So,
So we need another.
so that's pretty much sums it up as far as shows and as far as getting sound out to your speakers.
I like that it's got different shows, so that way it's different things. for
Super
different
easy.
people. That's
Yeah.
Just pressing the button, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah, super
Nice.
easy,
You
right?
don't have to mess with anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, if you need anything specific, like let's talk about dialing a microphone in, or let's talk about EQing. Something sounds really weird in this room. Like let's talk about that on an individual basis, and I'll be
talk
more than
about chord
I will be
praise.
here to do that for you guys. Yeah, like the gain structure. Oh, and the chord of praise.
Oh, what about the gain? Is there a gain button?
Sure,
in
I can
here?
show you that. So, if you do need to change the
People
gain
like to
structure
play.
for, let's say, for example, let's change the gain structure for the wireless mic. Let's pretend that it's a microphone that we just plugged in and that we need to turn it up. So, I'm going to hit select here for the channel that I want. Hit select, and I'm going to come over here to processing. Come over to processing. So, now this window is displaying all the processes for this individual channel. Let's turn this microphone on again. And I'm talking into it. I'm seeing a little bit of signal here. Yep. So I'm seeing some signal and I'm hearing signal, or hearing the sound coming through. This page shows you all the different attributes for this channel. So I can change the gain, I can change the EQ, I could compress the system, I could insert, I could add effects to it, all kinds of fun stuff. But for this, we're talking about gain.
what is gain?
Gain is, okay, so like, think about, it's a little education for y'all. Think of a river of water coming through you, and that, or going down, and that river of water is sound, like voltage, basically voltage of this unit going through the system.
Okay.
Gain is the water release, like the valve, like
much
in
you
a
want.
dam. How much do you want?
Okay.
And if you start off way open, the water flows through. It's crazy. It's not controlled, and you get feedback. For example, I decide to turn this up like this,
Too much.
and now I've got gain. I've got
Got it.
feedback.
Too much
Okay?
water.
Too much water, right? Not enough valve control. So this is always the first thing that you want to control. That's the head volume, that's the head gain, it's the control. From here, once that's controlled at a reasonable level, then you've got
Move it up.
all kinds of ability to play. Yeah. EQ, you can do all that stuff. So gain, your gain structure is going to start right here at the top. Okay. Then I've got all kinds of EQ. I could spend all day talking about this because I love it, but I'm gonna just save you all that. So we'll talk on an individual.
An
basis.
output of an audio that you want to play. For instance, we have somebody playing track music on Sundays here.
Okay.
Most of the time. So you want to play audio out of here.
Yes. Okay. So the audio is coming from Oh, by the way, if you wanted to have the volume turned up like this, right, and you decided that you don't want the microphone on right now, this very moment, on the channel here, there's a mute button right at the top of that channel assignment.
So you don't have to readjust it.
Yeah, so you don't have to readjust it. So it's not working, but it is working, right?
Okay.
It's working, but not working. You turned it off in the system. Okay, so the audio for the computer or any other audio that you're playing, that's coming from a cable that will look like this.
Okay.
This is my very own personal cable, which I'm gonna take back eventually. So as soon as we made an order, so all this stuff is coming in. Anyway, this cable is plugged into the front of the PC right now,
Okay.
and that is what's controlling, and that's what's feeding audio into the board right
And
now.
it's connected to the back.
And it's connected back there. That's what will happen so every Sunday, that one cable is plugged into the system, and you can use that to plug to your phone, you can plug it into the computer, you can do whatever you want. Now, keep in mind that if you are unplugging it from one to the other, like this is one channel of input. So your audio from your phone,
Right.
and then, you're playing a video and you're like, how come we're not getting any audio? That's because the cable's not plugged in,
Sure.
right? So you got to be conscious of those things.
Let me see where it's plugged back here.
So right here, it's plugged into channels
Oh, okay.
15 and 16.
Got it.
Okay, so those the last two channels will always be plugged in just for the PC, and it's labeled right here, PC left and right. This will never ever change. Same thing with the wireless mic, never ever change. Those are the consistent things in this room.
Okay, good.
So you want to avoid bringing in outside devices, really, is what we want to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
If you have a file, email
Yeah.
it to yourself, pull it up on this computer. Try not to be unplugging that. because then the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
person-
We try to download it in here in this system and then pull it out from here.
Yep.
Makes sense.
People
Yep.
like me.
I have a question, Angel.
Yes.
So the game was a question. For the most part, people shouldn't have to mess with the game as far as
Yes.
you
I
see
hope
on this.
so.
Yes.
Because some of our analog consoles, we've had issues with not having that room that we need. We've had to get gain just to be able to hear it.
Yes.
And then introduce feedback and all that stuff.
Yes.
Have you had any of that type of issue here? Or is there seem to be plenty of room on everything? I know the wireless is hot. But
There's plenty of room for all of that. Specifically for the wireless mic, and this is the beauty about saving a show like this, is that we've dialed it in the way that it should be, and it's ready to rock for everybody's scene. So yes, the answer to the gain question is you really don't need to mess with gain, especially for this wireless mic. Now for everything else, because we haven't, for bands, and we haven't played with any of it yet. We haven't plugged anything in. Again, all of that varies on what you're plugging in and volume
We can
and all
always
that
ask you
stuff.
about that.
And that's when we talk about on an individual
Record
basis.
devices.
Yeah, we'll do that.
one thing I don't think you covered was saving a scene.
Yeah,
You're
okay,
working
great.
in a scene, so
Great.
that's good.
Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna pull the default scene again. So recall. So so by the way, if you notice we made a couple changes, right? This volume control was up. We muted it. I mean, all kinds of stuff is we changed the gain on it. So I've done a couple things where, like, I wouldn't want to save this, all right? Like, or I wouldn't want to go back to this setting. I want to go back to where we originally were. So if I do not save it and I recall or go back to it, it'll go back to exactly the same way that I had it.
Okay.
So for example, for default, I'm going to go to default and I'm going to go to recall. So without storing it or anything else, so I hit recall, ask me if I want to recall it.
So it just gives you the last thing that was up there.
It gives you the setting that it was saved at last time.
It gives you
That it was
the
saved.
default
Yeah.
setting.
Got it.
Okay, so now let's say that I do want to, I did make some changes. I changed the Q, for the Spanish ministry, for example. I changed all kinds of cool stuff on it. Monitor mixes, and I like it the way I did it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come over to your scene before you shut it down. Very important. Before shutdown. Before shutdown. Select your show. Hit store, and it'll ask you if you want to overwrite what was on there.
Okay.
The answer is yes in this case.
Sure.
You want to save it. So I hit yes, and now everything that you did to change it now saves on that last for that show.
What if you want to save that, but add it as another setting?
You can do that
You
too.
can do that too. Okay.
So let's say, for example, now I wanted. So let's say I really liked what this is, but I don't want it to be a Wana.
band.
I want it to be something else. So you come back over here to scenes, click an open scene.
Gotcha. It's like saving a file.
Yep, just saving a file.
Okay.
Name your new scene. So for you guys, we're gonna label it CM. CM.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now you guys have your own show,
Great.
and we saved it. You know,
So if you
everything
tweak
that we
a couple of things for a specific event and you know you're going to keep doing that event or whatever, you can save it as another file.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
like,
can you show
for
me how you
instance,
go
if the
back
Spanish
again?
ministry has 2 bands.
How to go
they'll
back?
have-
Thing.
Yeah,
Like
they'll have
the
different
recall
EQs
thing,
for
like-
Recall.
vocals,
Okay,
different
so
audio
recall.
mixes
So
for
we're gonna go
music.
back. So
They'll be
right
able to
now we're
save
in. See the
Dominique,
yellow highlight?
and
That's
whoever,
that's
you
where
know,
we
they can save-
are.
I like
That's the
that.
show that we're in right now.
Singing
Not always
for-
have
To go back to a show, to
Yeah.
go to any show,
You
you
guys like
click,
that,
Default.
so
yeah,
now in Spanish,
highlight
they have to
the
come
show
in
that you
and
want,
all
and then
the
click the
EQs
green
change
recall
for
button.
you know, they-
Okay.
not
And then it
necessarily,
asks you to
but they'd have
confirm.
redo
We hit
each
yes, and now we're in.
EQ.
We're
So
in.
now they can
Perfect, thank
do
you.
it once.
Whatever yellow,
Come back,
whatever is highlighted yellow
Is
what
is
you're in.
what show you're in.
And then when you finish with your event or show, you turn it off.
Yes, after you've decided that you wanted to save your show, or after you're done, either one, even if you don't want to save your show. All you have to do now is turn off the amps over there in the front first. That's the very first thing to do. Is turn off the amps on the rack over there,
Okay.
and then press the power button here on the left.
That's a shutdown.
So you save your scene.
You save.
Turn the
Shut the amp off.
Then
And then
We'll have
turn
some
this
more
off.
questions.
Same.
Absolutely,
That's good.
absolutely. I just wanted to give you guys a quick brush
I like
over
it.
on brush through on how this works.
I think this is an answered prayer for the Spanish guys.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be great. That way, it's just one thing. You guys are ready to
I guess for
go.
every ministry, I think.
Every ministry.
We try to have a tech person here, and then it's like half the time they don't show up, and then we're like,
I like it.
wait, how do we do this again? We haven't done
Yeah.
it so
Thanks,
much.
Jeff.
Every ministry needs it.
No, it's great.
So, okay.
Simple.
Rad.
Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you very much for your
And then
time.
once they use this, they'll be